Welcome to Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. I'm Rob Wilson.
And I am Tony the Quano.
So, Tony, did you know that Chuck Norris could pick the best apple out of an orange tree and make the best tasting lemonade you have ever tasted?
I was wondering where this is going, and I did in fact know this because I've seen it. I've seen him do this.
Yes. Well, did you know that Chuck Norris once played rock, paper, scissors in a mirror and won?
He won?
He won.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. That's badass. What happened to the mirror Chuck Norris that lost?
I don't know. Maybe he got trapped in the Phantom Zone.
Oh, no. I'd still take that Chuck Norris over Terrence Stamp.
Yeah. Nothing against Terrence Stamp, but...
No, nothing against Terrence Stamp.
Chuck Norris is Chuck Norris.
Yeah, let's be real here. Yeah.
Yeah. Even Mirror Chuck Norris is, better than just about anybody.
Yes.
Well, all of that to bring up that we have some bad news. We lost another, not just Hollywood legend, but just legend.
Just legend.
Just legend. Yeah. Chuck Norris has sadly passed away.
So you texted me like, "Oh, we got to do a Chuck Norris movie." I'm like, "Yeah, we should do a Chuck Norris movie," because it's I couldn't connect that he had died, and then I sat there thinking about it. I'm like, "Wait, no, what?
Yeah,
no,
yeah." That was pretty much my reaction too. Yeah,
where did this go?
This one hit me hard, dude.
Yes,
like we've had some heavy hitters pass away recently. And yeah, Chuck Norris's death hit me hard.
Yeah.
Like he's always been more than just, an action star. I spent years in martial arts. He was a role model, I
mean, before he was really the action star, he was martial arts movies.
Yeah.
And then he transitioned. And then he just kind of became an icon. He became his own meme.
Yeah. And he loved all those Chuck Norris jokes.
Yes.
So much so that in Expendables 2, he told a Chuck Norris joke.
And the thing about him, though, right, is that despite all that, he's one of these celebrity deaths that, like, wow, it hits you hard, but then you realize he is so much greater than death. He will live on.
Yeah.
It's like in The Sandlot, in Benny's Dream, when Babe Ruth tells him that heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
That's right.
And that's Chuck Norris.
That's right. Chuck Norris is a legend.
And it goes beyond, like you said, his roles, his status as an icon, whether it be an action star, martial arts, or just with the memes. He just, he transcends all of that.
Yeah.
Even if, like he never won an Oscar, right? Not by himself is he this terrific actor, right? He didn't have the range of a Robert Duvall.
Yeah, no.
And that's fine.
Nobody ever accused him of being a great actor.
Right, no.
You don't watch a Chuck Norris movie for his acting.
You don't. But he fits the roles. Whatever role he had, he fit it.
Yeah. I mean, he was good. He was good in his roles.
Yes.
He was good in his roles. But his roles also, most of the time, revolved around martial arts.
Or shooting guns. or
both.
Or both at the same time. Shooting off M16s while roundhouse kicking somebody in the balls.
Yeah.
Occasionally doing stealthy ninja shit. Insulting people.
Yeah.
Not caring.
Yep.
Pretending to make love to other people. Yeah. All that. And, he lives on. And, I, for a lot of us, that would have been, I grew up in the 90s. Our Saturday nights were spent watching Chuck Norris as Walker, Texas Ranger.
I watched Walker, Texas Ranger every Saturday night growing up. Like, it was my Saturday night thing. I would watch Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yes.
And I would watch Star Trek The Next Generation.
And even if...
And I would also watch Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. Because that's what my mom wanted to watch. So,
I would also, I mean, there's times I would watch that and Touched by an Angel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? I think we've occasionally, we've brought up Walker, Texas Ranger. And we only occasionally brought up when actors have starred in Walker, Texas Ranger. But a lot of the character actors we have brought up in our movies were guest stars on Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
I mean, it had a long run, and it fit a variety of roles, right? And it didn't matter. Like, if I had someone was sleeping over, like, it was Saturday night. Of course, they were watching Walker before we did anything else.
I mean, I even loved love might be a strong word for it, but I thoroughly enjoyed the Walker Texas Rangers spinoff, Sons of Thunder.
Yes, I recall that.
And it was always great when Walker would make a guest appearance in it.
Yes. And I also have fond memories. I shouldn't say I have fond memories, but I've been watching Sidekicks also.
See, that's one I never saw. I wanted to see it when it was in theaters, but I never got the chance to see it. That's
kind of one of his, few 90s roles in a movie that's out there that you can that he has, right? Because he established himself as the action star in the 80s, right? He'd been doing his different martial arts movies, and then he established himself as an action star before finally settling into his TV roles with Walker, Texas Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Before he just started doing cameos in movies like Dodgeball.
Yeah.
And then, obviously he had to show up in the Expendables series, right? As we talked about.
And he had to be the one guy who could take all the bad guys out by himself.
That's
in the Expendables movies. Because that is the legend of Chuck Norris.
But the one movie that I missed him in that I wish I'm kind of sad that I missed was Top Dog.
Yeah. That's another one I wanted to see, but never got the chance.
Excuse me. We talked a while back, way back when there was a time period in the 90s where you had to put either put a dog or a monkey in a sports movie.
Mm-hmm.
But occasionally dogs would show up in other types of movies also.
Yep.
And Top Dog was one where he shows up as the partner attack cop.
Yep. Like Turner and Hooch.
That's right.
But instead of Tom Hanks, it's Chuck Norris.
So, yes. But yeah, it's like I really came to most of his movies later, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Most of the stuff I had seen first would have been Walker, Texas Ranger.
Same here.
And I came to his movies later. And some of it was just being seen bits and pieces on TV, right? That was like, I kind of have, at that point, kind of had the image of Chuck Norris action movies as being like Saturday afternoon dad movies.
Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Yes, I was just going to say the same thing. Just like your Steven Seagal movies. That most of the time, if they were going to be on TV, it was going to be a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. And your dad was going to be watching them.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny. I think back at it now. It's like, I'm pretty sure my dad and all the other dads I saw watching those movies back in, the mid to late 90s probably never actually saw those movies in the theaters, but they wanted to watch them. And then that's what they're watching. That's like, all right.
Sooner or later, it's going to be on TNT.
That's right. Because say Delta Force, for example, right? That came out in the mid 80s. It's been a hard movie to see if you're, you have like a bunch of kids and babies at that time.
Yeah.
But that's a perfect type of movie for a dad to watch because it's it's action oriented. Chuck Norris is kicking ass, and it settles nicely in for a Saturday afternoon viewing.
And you even have him teaming up with Lee Marvin.
Yes, Lee Marvin, exactly. Delta Force is not the movie we're doing, by the way.
No, it is not. But, it's appropriate that we have spent so much time talking about Walker, Texas Ranger. Because the movie that we're doing today is associated with that.
Yes. It was largely inspired Walker, Texas Ranger. In fact, what I did not realize is that it wasn't settled until rather recently. There was a lawsuit brought forth.
Really?
Yes, from like this, I think the director and the screenwriter of this movie were suing the creators and producers of Walker. It actually got up to the Supreme Court.
Really?
The Supreme
How did
Court
I not know this?
The Supreme Court heard a case revolving around this movie and Walker, Texas Ranger.
That is awesome. How did I not know that?
So it's like Chuck Norris versus Chuck Norris. It's like him playing rock, paper, scissors with himself in a mirror.
Yes, it is. And guess what? He won. Because it doesn't matter which side won. He won.
That's right. But so the defendants won, which I mean the Walker, Texas Ranger people ended up winning this suit. Because it's hard to prove a case about again.
Is it because their main argument was we have Chuck Norris, and then the plaintiff's main argument was we have Chuck Norris, and it was a stalemate.
So okay. Anyway, yes, that's an actual Supreme Court case.
Wow.
Norris v. Norris. That would have been Norris v. Norris because he wasn't either plaintiff or defendant, but still.
No, but we'll call it Norris v. Norris.
I mean, come on. This justices had to have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, they did.
How many Chuck Norris jokes do they talk about when they're discussing this case in quarters?
The Chuck Norris jokes weren't around then.
No, I mean this got settled like a few years ago.
Oh,
this case.
I thought it was like back in the. Okay, I thought it was like back in the late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah, no.
Okay, in that case, yes, they're probably rattling them off left and right.
Yeah, they sued the producers of Walker, Texas Ranger for $500 million. So,
for copying their idea?
Yeah, basically.
Copying the idea of making Chuck Norris a Texas Ranger.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like,
Yeah. That would be an interesting case. I should read up on that case. But anyway, in case you have not guessed, the movie we're talking about today is Lone Wolf McQuade, where Chuck Norris plays a Texas Ranger.
Yes, he does.
And he goes after David Carradine.
He goes after David Carradine.
Mr. Kung Fu himself.
Mr. Kung Fu himself.
So we get Kane versus Chuck Norris. How can you go wrong with that?
How could you go wrong? And that's not the only person he goes after in this movie, but I think we'll talk about some of the secondary villains later. Which I found delightful because they're very Bond. This movie itself is kind of like a neo-Western, right?
With a hint of Bond thrown in.
Yes. For no reason whatsoever.
Like, sure, David Carradine is, Chuck Norris's nemesis in this movie, right?
Yes.
But he's not the boss.
He's not the boss. No, he's not the boss. He's the main antagonist, but he's not the boss. And what's funny is like most of this movie is again, it's a Chuck Norris movie, so a lot of it is going to be over the top. Excuse me, but it's kind of grounded for the most part. Save for a couple of characters in this movie to just send it straight over the top, most delightful way possible.
Yes. And one is the main villain. And I love his photo on IMDb, by the way.
I have not seen it yet.
Oh,
We'll get there, but when he showed up, I just like wow. Yeah, I was sold. Like yeah, we picked the
yes.
perfect movie.
I agree, because neither of us had seen this movie before doing it for the podcast.
No, we hadn't. We had not. And I part of me was there was a bit of melancholy watching this because again it's Chuck Norris and he has passed, and I just thought like, why did we never watch this together?
I was thinking the same thing.
Like this was the perfect apartment movie.
Yes, it was. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, we never watched it together.
And that's okay. Now we're discussing it. So, and, you know, it again, like it's probably not as over the top as some of his later movies get to be, but there's so many good things in this.
He was in an episode of The Jeffersons 2 years before this.
That checks. Oh my goodness! Look at this IMDb photo. By the way, this is not the first movie of his that we've done. He was in Return of the Jedi.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
I also see he was in a movie called Night of the Creeps, where he plays alien zombie.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm thinking might be where his IMDb photo comes from.
Probably.
But yes, this is Daniel Frischman, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, he played in Return of the Jedi. He was the Ewok that had the hang glider.
And given that we just told you that he's an Ewok.
Yeah.
You might clue you in.
And we were saying that it's very Bond-like as far as the main villain goes.
Yes. But he's not the only part of this, though, right? There's like this is a well-rounded cast.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah.
David Carradine's actually a way for him to actually play the villain, right? But Barbara Carrera, Robert Beltran, Leon Isaac Kennedy,
L.Q. Jones.
I love
R.G.
He
Armstrong.
might be one of my favorite parts of this. Is L.Q.
Yes,
Jones.
I love him in this. He plays Dakota.
R.G. Armstrong again. Like this movie came out in what 1983.
Yes,
so like this has a lot of veteran actors from like the 50s and 60s of different westerns, and they're used really, really well.
Yes, they are.
Not to mention, this movie takes place in El Paso. Like again, he's a ranger in this movie, so obviously it's Texas. But I like that's El Paso, right? It's not Dallas, it's not Houston or San Antonio. It's El Paso. William Sanderson, Aaron Norris is in this.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of people that just, yeah. Well, Aaron Norris is one of the producers on it.
Robert Beltran.
Yeah. And then there's the, let me see if I can find who it is here on here.
And Aaron Norris also plays Punk.
Yes.
He's one of the producers and he plays Punk.
Emilio Falcone. Jorge Cabrera Jr. I would need to check out his IMDb page to see what else he might be in. There he is. Oh wow, he was not in many things. He was in Three Amigos. as Bandito #1.
Yep. Yep, he was.
But we'll talk about him soon because he's in the beginning of the movie. But yeah, this is, first time watching this, and I ended up watching it pretty much for a second time just to see it again and kind of try to remember the order of everything.
Yeah, because it's awesome.
It's yes, it's awesome. And there are things that happen in this movie. Like I was like, wow, that happened. Yes.
Yes, it did. It did indeed happen.
Like just when you think all hope has faded, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'll say for right now.
Yeah.
We said William Sanderson, right?
Yes, said William Sanderson.
Because one day we'll do Blade Runner. When I think of William Sanderson, I think of Blade Runner.
Yes, me too.
But he's in this movie also. So, there's so many good things about this movie. Roger Ebert gave this movie 3.5 stars. I will applaud him for doing that because I could see critics dismissing this movie at the time.
I can too.
But again,
why didn't he give it 5 stars?
Well, he gave his out of 4 stars.
Okay,
but Chuck Norris always gives himself an extra star, so
yes,
it should have been 5
stars. It should have been 5. So yeah.
So, but it's an interesting movie because like it is an action movie, but like it's got a little bit of the spaghetti western feel to it, right?
Yep.
It's not as long as operatic as that Man with No Name trilogy that Clint Eastwood did. But it's gritty, and you kind of have a solitary actor this time. In this case, a Lone Wolf McQuade.
Yep. Although I was kind of surprised to see how little of the movie he's actually a lone wolf in.
I agree. They talk about this, but then pretty soon, he's got a partner, and he's usually working with somebody.
Once KO proves himself to him, then he's happy to team up with him.
He's no longer a one-man wolf pack.
No. He's not a 2-man wolf pack.
By the end of the movie, he becomes a 3-man wolf pack.
None
of those ATF agents, though. Fuck them.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. Just the Texas Rangers and the Texas State Police and the FBI.
Yes. Eventually, if we stick around long enough, there might be some federales, but we never see them.
No, we don't.
So,
shall we get into it?
I think we should get into it.
I think we should get into it.
By the way, the music in this movie is also really good.
Yes, it is.
That kind of lends itself into kind of that spaghetti western feel.
Western, yeah.
And it's chosen well. And there's also like a wolf. There was like in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a pet wolf in this movie.
Yes. Chuck Norris, Lone Wolf McQuade, has a lone wolf as a pet. Yeah. Awesome.
So, anyway, I think we can go into it.
Well, let's get into it. So, as always, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about this entire movie, beginning, middle, and end. So, if you have not seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, pause the podcast, watch the movie, and come back and listen. If you have seen it or you just don't mind being spoiled, keep on listening, but you have been warned. We are going to spoil every awesome bit of this amazing movie.
Which is why I would recommend just stopping it and watching it. Because it's really enjoyable.
And then come back and listen.
There's some of those movies that just are parts of this movie are just ridiculous, and other parts they're just awesome. And it's one just really just well just put together a concoction of
Yep.
80s Chuck Norris awesomeness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you should just watch it. It's not a long movie. I mean, it's what, an hour and 40 minutes, maybe slightly longer than that.
Something like that.
It's a very easy watch. So, but anyway, and the movie starts
With a lone wolf.
With a lone wolf, and with kind of the music we were talking about,
Mhm.
right? You kind of getting plucked guitar strings, right? You
Yep.
know, and some whistling. It's kind of a sepia tone to it, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a sunset.
And we're getting this, sometimes we'll pause on this wolf and on the sunset and desert formations and rocks and stuff like that, right? Excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. But yeah, just setting the nice tone of this movie about a lone wolf. And you never know what a lone wolf's going to do, right?
Nope. He
Unpredictable.
might roofie his buddies.
Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen.
No, you don't.
But this movie sets it up well because it gives us the image of a wolf being lone and prowling around and hunting and doing what a lone wolf might do. And then it transitions to our lone wolf, Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
And he's out in the desert, right? This again,
He's on a ridge.
He's on a ridge in the desert, right? And so this takes place in like West Texas, like extreme West Texas, El Paso.
Mhm.
So close to the, not just West Texas, but also like near the border, right? And he's on this ridge, and he's looking around. He's got he's
got his rifle scope.
Rifle scope, and he's got detached, and he's using it to kind of scope
basically
out
using
the
it
terrain.
as like a telescope.
Yep. And he's seeing these horses that were kind of getting corralled. And we learn that they are being smuggled
Mm-hmm.
by a band of a gang of Mexicans. Right? They're being stolen and being corralled, right? And he's just checking it out. He is seeing all these different, this band of thieves
Mm-hmm.
and these horses.
So, I mean, the horses are probably being taken down to Guapo.
Oh, yes. So they can be raped.
Oh, Three Amigos.
That movie's coming. Don't worry. One day we'll be doing Three Amigos.
Yes.
Yes. But yes, they're being corralled for El Guapo.
I mean, that's why Bandito #1 is in this movie.
Yes, that's exactly why he's in this movie.
He's
We're gonna
taking these horses to El Guapo.
We're going to get a little bit more into Bandito #1 very soon. Or his name in the movie is actually Jefe. It's Jefe.
Yes. His name is Jefe in this movie.
Yes.
And who says his name is
Bandito
Jefe in
#1?
the other
Yes.
one, too?
That's right. Yes. Anyway. There's no piñatas in this movie. There's no piñatas in this movie. The
plethora of piñatas is not in this movie.
There's no Germans in this movie either.
Nope.
Anyway. No, my little buttercup.
Though there may be a mail plane.
All right, that Three Amigos is happening.
Yes,
don't worry.
Three Amigos is happening one of these days.
So,
but anyway,
he's scoping it all out, and eventually he sees these Texas state troopers also, right? And they're planning this raid to stop this gang from stealing all these horses.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like about, he's looking at, he can tell right away, he sees that their plan is no good.
Yep.
That they are too few and that they're just going to rush in and they're just going to get surrounded.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he's picking up little stones and rocks and he's placed them in different places. Right. He's looking at all of it. He has his own plan.
Yeah.
He knows what he's going to do.
Because he's a lone wolf. He
He's a
needs to
lone
know
wolf.
how to do things on his own.
And they're dangerous and they're unpredictable, right? So the Texas State, police or troopers, cops, they go in and they quickly get surrounded. Now, one of them gets shot, right? And we notice this is one guy. Looks like maybe he's kind of like a rookie, and he's kind of getting she's shook up by everything that kind of happens, right? He sees the guy get shot, and they get surrounded. They put up their hands, they give up their guns, right? And they get surrounded, and they take him over, and they get them all on their knees. And Hefe, he's having a fun time with this group.
Yes, he is.
By the way, I have mad respect for Hefe. By the way, okay, not so much for stealing horses. He's got a perfectly sculpted dad bod.
Yep.
And he's just letting it all out loose.
Yep.
Right? He's got a little vest on, but he's just, it's the middle of the desert. He does not care. It's like, it's a hot day. I'm showing off my dad bod. Right? And he's laughing. He's having fun with this group. Right? He shoots one of them dead. Right? This scares this guy, this new cop, even more. Right? And the leader is not so much the sheriff, like, the captain, whoever it is, that's right. He's daring to mock FA.
Yeah.
And FA, well, he gets out his knife. And he's gonna make this be a little bit more painful than just shooting him, right? But out in the distance on that ridge, don't forget, we got a lone wolf.
Yes. We got a Lone Wolf McQuade. And
what does that lone wolf do?
Lone Wolf, he takes that scope that he's been scoping everything out with, and he puts it back on his rifle. And this is how badass Chuck Norris is right here. He takes that rifle that he has just put the scope on and didn't zero the scope, by the way.
No.
And he shoots that knife out of Hefe's hand.
Out of his hand. Now, Hefe bad. No one shoots his knife out of his hand.
Nope.
Especially a lone wolf.
But one just did.
And after he shoots it out of his hand, he shoots his car. Hefe's like, why are you shooting my car? Get down here like a man.
But here's the thing. He shoots the car. One shot.
Yes.
Into the engine block, and the car blows up. Yeah.
This is that type of movie.
Awesome.
There's not explosions throughout the entire movie.
And no, it's not a 50 caliber rifle he's shooting.
No.
It's
just standard rifle.
It's 30 caliber at most.
Yeah, nothing super special about it. But he's a lone wolf.
Yes. And lone wolves have special powers. They can blow trucks up with one shot.
Their bullets are that awesome.
I'm surprised the knife didn't blow up.
But yeah, Hefe, he's mad now, right? It's like he's hurting his cars, right? Again, he's switching between his, English, but then he's cursing at him in like Spanish, like "pendejo," right? And so he asks him who he is, and he shouts down from the bridge. Like they actually have a big distance between them, right? And he's just like, "This is J.J. McQuade, Texas Ranger."
Yep, because his beard amplifies his voice.
Right? And he's still holding his rifle. And so he's like, it's like, okay. You think I care about your friends here? Like now, he's still threatening these other, these cops, right? It's like, put down your weapon and get down here.
Mm-hmm.
And the lone wolf, he complies. So now you're thinking, what's going to happen?
He comes down there.
They're going to meet face to face. They meet face to face down here now, right? He comes down the ridge. And he's surrounded. They got a bunch of their trucks. They got all the horses they've stolen. They got these 4 cops still on their knees, right? And they got a bunch of guys that's all surrounded. Like, what's going to happen?
I don't know. Are they gonna kill the lone wolf right here? They're gonna try.
They're going to try.
But remember, this lone wolf is Chuck Norris.
Yes. And they would kill him. We would not be here talking about this movie right now.
No. What does this lone wolf do? This lone wolf takes all of them out with his bare hands. Like they come at him one at a time for some reason.
Yes. Well, not all of them.
Well, yeah.
The ones that are on the outskirts don't.
No.
All the ones that are kind of down in this main circle all go one at a time. And he takes all of them out and leaves Hefe. And Hefe's like, a Texas Ranger kicked my daddy's teeth out. So what does this lone wolf do?
He kicks his teeth out. Tries to make him just like his daddy.
Right. And at that point, he's able to retrieve some of their own guns, right? And then he just starts open.
He picks up a MAC-10. Yes, folks, we have another MAC-10.
It's been a while. This one doesn't have the giant suppressor on it.
It
right?
does at one point in the movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
We can't have a MAC-10 in a movie without the giant suppressor. It does have it for one scene. But that's later. Right now, there's no suppressor on it. But yeah, he picks up a MAC-10 and he just shoots all these guys.
He just does like a 360.
Yeah. He just barely pulls that trigger and all of them drop.
There's all these guys on this ridge. And it's like probably about a dozen of them.
Yep.
Perfect shots.
He just waves it across them. He just waves it across them. They all drop.
He doesn't end up hitting any of the cops on their knees.
Nope.
He avoids them.
Yep. Because he is that good.
Right. And then the first cop he gets to after he has killed all of them except Hefe. He leaves Hefe alive.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
That we know of.
Yep.
When we leave the scene, Hefe is alive. We don't know what happens after the scene. Because we never see him again.
He ran back to El Guapo with his tail between his legs. And no horses.
Anyway. But yeah, the cop he first goes to is this young cop, right? Ramos, or KO, played by Robert Beltran. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And, he gets the other guys, and so that kind of ends our scene there. And then that's when we go to El Paso, right? Downtown El Paso. We get a shot of downtown El Paso, and then we kind of go outside the headquarters of the El Paso office of the Texas Rangers.
Yep.
And there's this retirement ceremony happening for a particular ranger. And, the lone wolf, he arrives there. He's all, he's sweaty. He's dirty, right? He's just been out on this ridge. He's just killed a bunch of Mexican horse thieves.
Mm-hmm. Just another day of work.
Single-handedly.
It's just another Tuesday.
Just another Tuesday. He's tired. He just sits down. He starts falling asleep as soon as he sits down.
He's sitting down in the audience. He's just dozing off right there in the chair.
Yeah. And we have R.G. Armstrong. He's Captain Tyler. And he is giving a speech about this other ranger that's retiring, right? Ranger Dakota Brown, played by L.Q. Jones. And, he's giving this nice, flowery retirement speech, right? And they give him his retirement gift of a watch, right? The ceremony ends, and then, this time the Lone Wolf, he got his power nap in. He's ready to go and kill more people if necessary. But he wants to see his friend, Dakota. Yeah. They're good friends, right? They've worked together. They are respectful of each other, right? And he asked Lone Wolf, like, did he take care of those horse thieves? He's like, oh yeah, no, it's done. Right? Like it's no big deal.
You won't be seeing them again.
Right? And
what did they do with all the horses?
I don't know. Because there's only a few of them. Who did they call in?
Did he leave
these horses?
Did he leave the horses with the state troopers so that they could go and take them back to where they belong?
Maybe they call in Billy Crystal.
Maybe.
Since he now has experience as a cowboy. By the way, I also like Ranger Dakota Brown's look. He looks like he is the El Paso cousin of Colonel Sanders.
Yes. I said that. Like, not the El Paso cousin, but I said, hey, look, there's Colonel Sanders.
Excuse me.
Because, like, he's got that, he's got, like, the ribbon tied around his neck.
Yes. The white shirt. He's got
the white shirt.
White hair. It's kind of long, Perfect look. Anyway. This movie's got so much style to it.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone has their own look.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Dakota Brown here, right? Or David Carradine or Chuck Norris. Or a certain Bond villain. Our friend Hefe, who just sports his dad bod. Right? I mean, the captain shows up, and now you can kind of see the captain doesn't really respect Dakota Brown that much. And we find out Lone Wolf and Dakota don't really respect the captain very much, right? They just have to put up with each other. The captain, though, he really, you can tell he is not happy with our Lone Wolf.
No. Oh, and by the way, our Lone Wolf, he took that MAC-10 with him.
Yes. Of course he did. Ooh, it was just lying around.
They're not going to need it anymore. They're all dead, except Hefe.
So, but he needs to see our Lone Wolf in his office.
Yes.
Tells him 10 minutes.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And he goes. So he goes up to the building. There's a nice little water cooler in the hallway. He gets a little cup of water. He drinks it.
Because he's been out in the heat in the Texas desert.
He needs a drink. I'll take his little cup of water. That's right. He says hi to this guy cleaning the hallway. He's very polite to him. He's respectful of the people in the office.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, you're not a ranger, but you're keeping this office building clean for us so we can help do our job, or I can go and kill a bunch of horse thieves.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be polite to you. So, but now, he goes into the office. He waits for the captain. The captain's not happy. He's like, you got to cut this Lone Wolf crap out.
And then he's like, but I'm a lone wolf.
It's like, no. I expect my wolves to be married and have children. Right? And he hands him an article.
How can I be a lone wolf if I'm married with children? Then I'm just Al Bundy.
I'm Al Bundy. And I'm selling shoes at a mall.
While being a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes. But I guess this is like this article in the paper that really has the captain incensed that there's someone locally like Lone Wolf McQuade, like because he's a lone wolf and he is such
Hmm.
a prolific ranger, is like kind of a local celebrity for
Yeah.
being such a badass.
Yeah. People, you know, walk around the desert and see, a pile of bodies of horse thieves know who's responsible for that. They know it's Lone Wolf. They know it's McQuade.
But some
And they're
little
thankful for now having safety for their horses.
that's right. But some dweeby little journalist that works in El Paso and doesn't leave his small little block in El Paso, right? And doesn't venture out into the desert, doesn't know about the dangerous world out there. So he's
Yeah.
writing this kind of hit piece on Lone Wolf. And the captain, who just like, this is not
Yeah,
acceptable.
he's talking about him, be like, "Oh, he's a lone wolf. Lone wolves are, they don't have friends. They're not part of a pack. They're a one-man wolf pack. We can't have that. It can't be a wolf pack if there's only one of them." So, and
You know, Zach Galifianakis is just too unpredictable. And so the rest of these wolves can't be lone either.
nope, nope, they might roofie their buddies
They might roofie
on
their
the
buddies.
roof of Caesar's Palace.
Caesar's Palace. And one might just end up there all night,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just roasting in the Vegas sun.
Because they're called roofies, not flories.
And then you gotta get the black Doug to help find the white Doug.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me, but our Doug is a white.
Anyway, so he tells him, "I'm getting you a partner," and walks in Ramos, and he's excited. He gets to work with a lone wolf.
Mm-hmm.
But Lone Wolf's like, it's like, no, not happening.
No, he's like, "My name's Ramos, but you can call me KO." And
He's very polite. He's
is.
polite and respectful.
He is. He is very polite and respectful. But Lone Wolf, he kind of just ignores him.
Which I get,
And
it's not his style.
He's a lone wolf. He's not used to having a partner.
He's not.
Because he doesn't like putting other people in danger.
Like, he respects Dakota Brown, but like, they don't work together like that.
No.
They're assist each other sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But not quite like that.
No. So Lone Wolf goes back into his office. And he sits down and he pulls out the newspaper. And then he proceeds to draw boobs on the newspaper.
Yes.
He's just sitting there, puts his feet up on the desk, which is like covered in books and newspapers and whatnot. And yeah, he while he's reading the paper, he pulls out a pen and he just starts drawing boobs on the paper.
He's a lone wolf. Come on. What else is he going to draw on the paper?
I know, right?
Come on. So we now cut away from El Paso, or at least from downtown El Paso, and the offices of the Texas Rangers there. And we're kind of more out in the desert, just at this little airstrip. And the little plane is landing. Out walk a bunch of Cubans.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they walk into this hangar, right? And who's there but David Carradine?
David Carradine, Raleigh Wilkes.
And again, like, talk about style. Like, he's got a little, he's got little
to the nines.
He's well dressed. Nines got this nice Argyle pattern on his sweater,
Mm-hmm.
right? The Cubans have berets on. And they come bearing a briefcase full of money. Right? And they open it up. Say, like, do you want to count it? He's like, no. These deals are built on trust and respect.
And I didn't wander the West, going from town to town to come and count your money.
That's right. It's like, okay, well, you can put the shipment back on our plane. I mean, we understand like these revolutionaries from Cuba, right? They're playing a Q, right? However, they decide that, you know what? They're gonna draw a gun.
Bad idea.
Probably. Bad idea.
Bad idea.
Because he's got some guys waiting for them to do this, right?
Chuck Norris isn't the only one that's a bad idea to draw a gun on. You also don't want to draw a gun on David Carradine.
That you don't. You don't want to draw a gun on David Carradine. And he has, but, he didn't kill them. He just has his other guys. They're waiting kind of off, in the shadows. They shoot these guys, Cubans, dead. He picks back up that briefcase, tells them to bury them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we can guess that he's a gun smuggler. Right? He sells guns to high bidders, right? Very kind of basic kind of bad guy type of motive, right?
Yeah.
We've covered this plenty of times. So right? So now, we cut back to Lone Wolf. We're going to go to our Lone Wolf's house now.
He's got this little house.
Yeah, it's way on the outskirts of El Paso in the prairie. Yep, it's
got a little house on the prairie.
It's almost like a little house or shack, right? It's very basic.
Yeah.
But he likes it because he has target practice. He has different targets that he likes to shoot at.
Yes,
all around his property.
I love this. I love this scene. I love this scene so much.
Anyway, go ahead.
I love this scene so much. Yeah, like you said, he's just got all these targets set up all throughout, his property. And he's just shooting them all, hitting, he doesn't miss one shot.
He doesn't miss anything, no.
He doesn't miss anything.
I mean, KO is watching,
and he's doing like trick shots. He's just not even aiming at all. He's just drawing his gun and firing. And then he pulls out his sawed-off shotgun. And he hits a target that's way too far out of range for a sawed-off to be able to hit, but he nails it.
When the shotgun came out, like, yes, and then like he's
target blows up. And KO is just sitting there, like, he's like, wow.
Wow. He's just now like, wow. Like, I want to be this guy when I grow up. And I guess KO gets there. Like, I think KO gets there first because
yeah, because Lone Wolf McQuade kind of just ditched him at the at the office, and
he was drawing boobs on the paper. Yeah. KO decides to go to his house, right, and like he looks around, he sees it's run down, and then he meets the wolf. Not Lone Wolf. He meets Lone Wolf's wolf.
Mm-hmm. Lone Wolf has a pet wolf.
Right? And the pet wolf is very protective of the property.
And of Lone Wolf.
And Lone Wolf shows up, and talks it down. And says, like, I only the partner, right? And he tells KO, he can leave. But KO doesn't leave, right? He just hangs out, and then he watches target practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, don't they have a beer here also?
Did they have a beer together?
Because Lone Wolf drinks a lot in this movie.
He drinks a lot. He drinks Pearl beer, by the way, which is if you're from Texas and you know Pearl beer, right? Or if you're someone that is familiar with cheap regional beers that go way back, whether it be Natty Boh or Genesee or Narragansett, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pearl's one of those, right? It's a very cheap Bohemian lager made in, for Texas. That's Pearl beer. That's the Wolf's drink of choice. and he does drink a lot in this movie. So maybe they have one, but then like, he sends.
Yeah, because
they end up having.
Yeah, because he goes in to get a beer, and he comes out with the beer, and then he just hands KO the last one.
That's right. Yes, he's very
because he's still got the 6-pack rings on there. It's just he pulls one off for himself and just hands the other one still attached to the rings. Partner,
but he's very hospitable.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But then he's gonna leave. He leaves. They leave together. I get. They kind of leave together, but it's almost becomes kind of like a race between KO's cop car.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess technically, Lone Wolf's truck is also his squad car, right? But yeah, they have this kind of race to the desert.
Yeah,
and KO's trying to keep up, but he can't.
You can't because you just can't beat the Lone Wolf.
He also has some boosters on it, but
yeah, I mean,
anyway,
he did inspire Vin Diesel to get into racing.
But
Don't quote me on that. But I'm sure it's true. It's probably not, but I'm sure it's true.
I'm going to say it's true. I was not expecting another Fast and the Furious reference this soon, by the way. Should have, with given the vehicle's capability.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and so then what happens from there is, he drives off his own. Lone Wolf, he's chuckling, right? But then he goes and he pulls up kind of all, closer into the town. You could kind of see when he pulls up, like it's on this ridge. Also, looking down, you can kind of see like the interstate down below and other parts of the suburbs or the city of El Paso.
There are a lot of ridges in this movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's West Texas, right? Towards the mountains of West Texas, and you pass just the plains of it, right? You're getting into hill country, right? Actual like rock formations. And there's just like this nice, respectable one-story house, and he pulls up there, and this teenage girl runs out and says, "Daddy!" Right? And so what? Okay, so hey, Captain, the Lone Wolf does have a daughter.
Yeah,
he does have a family. He does have a child. Yeah.
He does. Maybe the captain didn't know about her.
Or maybe he's just happy that maybe he's upset that he's divorced. Maybe. But they're very amicable with each other.
Yeah.
His ex-wife comes out, and they're very friendly with each other.
Yeah.
Right? They may not be married anymore, but they're respectful to each other.
So his daughter is Sally. She's played by Dana Kimmel. And his ex-wife is Molly, played by Sharon Farrell.
Mm-hmm. And she wants to just like, hey, Mom, like, oh, he told Dad the news that, like, and it's like, she doesn't want to tell him. It's like, oh, but no. It's like, oh, well, I got a job in Las Cruces, right? We're going to be moving to New Mexico. He's like, what? Like, that's too far, right? You're not going to be around here, right?
It's like 20 minutes farther across the border for Chuck Norris. Anywhere in the country is within 20 minutes for him.
Exactly. You're Lone Wolf. You're Chuck Norris. It really isn't that far. And really, it's really not that far. It's not like she said, like,
yeah.
It's not like she said, hey, we're moving to Boston.
Yeah.
It's not like Liar, Liar.
Yeah. We're moving across the country.
Maura Tierney is moving across the country with Carrie Elways. I was not expecting to bring up Liar Liar in this episode.
I was not expecting that either.
So, and they're talking, and so his intention is to bring his daughter to ride a horse, to do some horseback riding, right? Because there's a a nice area there where they can do that. And before they go off, this guy shows up in the car, which happens to be her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And Lone Wolf has not met the boyfriend yet.
No, he's not.
And so, he's getting the typical dad look at this boyfriend, right? Well, boyfriend's name is Bobby. Okay. And you find out that Bobby's in the army, right? Bobby's pretty respectful, and he realizes that Lone Wolf himself is a veteran. So there's kind of respect there, but you get the sense, like, I gotta get the sense maybe Bobby's like 18 and she's like 16.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, he's definitely out of high school. So, okay.
And yeah, Lone Wolf is kind of he's got his eye on him.
He's got his eye. That's right. And she tells him, like, oh, Bobby, no, I'm going, riding with Daddy. But, we'll go out tonight. Okay. So then she gives her mom a hug. And the two go off, right? And again, like, there's a whole area there, like track where you can race horses, right? And Lone Wolf's there, and they end up meeting Dakota, right?
Yeah.
And they're talking, right? And Sally's about to get this horse, and and then the Lone Wolf's like telling her, like, okay, no, kind of going over some of the general safety guidelines, just being a dad, making sure she's okay, that she can handle this horse that she's going to be on.
He's really just doing this because he doesn't want to have to kill this horse. Because if anything happens to his daughter while she's riding this horse, he's going to blame the horse and he's going to take it out. He doesn't want to have to do that.
This is true.
So it's really more so the horse knows who's boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You're right.
So the horse knows, hey, don't hurt my daughter.
And so the horse's name, by the way, is Foxy. And, and he tells her, this horse has a little bit of Mustang in her. That's what he says. A little bit of Mustang. Right? A little bit of wild. And he doesn't want to kill that doesn't want to kill it. Because that's what's going to happen if it bucks her off the horse. Right? It will not end well for Foxy.
No.
Right? So, but then we see that they're being observed from a distance.
They are being observed from a distance. They are.
Right? Because like this is a track, right? The horses race here too, and so they're up in the box that would watch over the track. And this is giant pair of binoculars.
Giant binoculars.
These binoculars are bigger than the person holding the binoculars.
Yes. The person holding these binoculars is Falcone. Daniel Frischman.
We're not talking about Carmine Falcone from the Batman universe.
We're not talking about Carmine Falcone. We're just talking about Falcone. Daniel Frischman. He is a little person.
Yes.
Very, very Bond villainish.
He is dressed like a Bond villain.
He even has a tiny wheelchair.
A motorized tiny wheelchair. And he's got greasy hair, and he's got gold on.
He's
got the villain smile.
Yeah. Like, if this movie were made today, then, I mean, it there's only one person that could play this part.
This is true. I don't even think that person can quite get this role the way that this is done.
No. So, Daniel Frischman plays this part perfectly.
Yeah.
He plays it perfectly.
And we see he is there with Raleigh. He and Raleigh are watching this together, right? And,
Yeah.
he puts down the binoculars and he smiles. This devious Bond villain smile, right? And you're kind of wondering why he's smiling, right?
Yeah. I mean, yes, Peter Dinklage could get this. He could get that smile down. He could get this Bond villainish, yes, but he would not. He would not be the same as Daniel Frischman.
Yeah. The thing with Peter Dinklage, like, he's got sometimes, like, too much of he's got that rough edge to him,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
He's not the smooth operator.
No. Peter Dinklage is more the kind of guy that runs across a conference table to attack Will Ferrell for calling him an elf. Daniel Frischman wouldn't do that. And not just because Falcone is in a wheelchair.
The wheelchair. In the wheelchair. I'm pretty convinced he does not need to be in a wheelchair.
No.
He just does it.
He just does it.
Because the aesthetic.
It's the whole Bond villain. It's the whole Bond villain aspect of it.
And
he needs a gimmick.
His lair is not, beneath some fortress or some mountain.
No.
It's at a racetrack.
It's a back room at a racetrack.
He does have a secret escape.
I love the giant ramp he has going up behind his desk.
Hey, you might need to do a trick sometimes.
You might.
But yes, so we will discover more of him.
We do not mean to make fun of people with disabilities.
No,
it's just this is funny. It's just funny the way that it's played in this movie.
It is,
right?
Yes.
This is not like
seriously. Like, what is El Paso doing with
speak ill of anybody with disabilities?
What's El Paso doing with a midget Bond villain? Whose hideout is at a racetrack.
Yeah. Yeah. And in a back room at a racetrack. And it's not a very big office either.
No.
I mean, it kind of fits his stature.
Yes. He's comfortable with his stature.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he is.
He does not need to make up for it.
No, he doesn't.
So he and Riley, they're watching them from a distance, and he gets it. He gets that Bond villain smile. I was like, yes, right. And we cut back down. We're down to a level track, and that little the little stable gate where Sally's on the horse. Right, she's about to ride off on it, but this car backfires.
Yep. This car backfires and it spooks the horse. And then Lone Wolf has to get medieval on this horse.
That's right. And she's just not ready to try to control this horse because it is gone crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't expecting that to happen, right? But then the horse gets lucky that someone shows up to help save Sally. Lola Richardson shows up.
Yeah.
Played by Barbara Carrera. Right? And, now you get the impression that this was kind of staged.
Yeah, you definitely get that impression.
Not explicitly said between, the shot of, them up in the Bond lair smiling about this.
And by the way, Barbara Carrera, speaking of Bond layers and whatnot, she was in Never Say Never Again, the unofficial Bond movie.
Okay, that's right. I should say before this happened.
That was 1983 also. So same year as this movie.
Before that happens, I forgot. You have our lone wolf talking with Dakota about her. They see her there, right? And they talk about her, how she married some guy named Clark. She came from a poor family. She married this guy named Clark, had all this money. And he got killed in some Italian racing job, right? Some like Grand Prix race in Italy or something like that, right? And then, she got all this money after he died, right? And Lone Wolf's like, oh, that guy ran with a rough crowd, right? It's like they thought that, they said that was an accident. They thought maybe that wasn't an accident, how he died, but they couldn't prove it. Right?
Yep. There just wasn't any evidence.
And then it ends up being, so she ends up, again, she's the one that will save Sally. She's able to ride up on her own horse and get Sally to safety.
Save that horse's life.
Yeah. Yep. Because if Sally had been hurt, if she had even got a tiny scrape on the knee.
Yep.
Right?
Then Lone Wolf McQuade would have had that horse for dinner. He would have had horse steaks that night.
He would have. Leftovers would have gone to his own wolf. Like, we're eating well tonight.
You know those people who say that they're so hungry they can eat a horse? That would have been Lone Wolf McQuade that night. If Lola hadn't come and saved Sally.
So they get to talking after this. He's like, my name's Lone Wolf McQuade. Or he's like, name's Jim McQuade. Jim McQuade. He's Jim.
Yes, Jim. Jim McQuade.
And then she's like,
Lone Wolf McQuade.
But she's like, oh, you're the Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf. I've heard of you. You're infamous.
I've heard of
you. You're
infamous.
You're not just a famous. You're the infamous.
Yes.
By this time, Raleigh has gotten down. He's like, have you met my husband, Raleigh? And Lone Wolf's looking at him. He's like, I've heard of you. Right? No, actually, no. He said, she didn't say husband. This is my late husband's partner.
Yeah, my late husband's partner.
Raleigh. And then Lone Wolf has heard of Raleigh. He's like, I understand you're very good with your hands and feet. Maybe he's just a follower of Jesus. He's hands and feet of Jesus.
Maybe. Could be.
But no. She's like, yeah, he was all European karate champion. And then Raleigh's like, if you're sticking around, Raleigh's going to give a nice little karate demonstration later. And, he's like, oh, maybe I'll have to see that, right?
Maybe I'll stick around. I don't know.
About this then is like they stick around, and so like this is a horse track, but they're having like these other festivities going around. Like they literally bring out a ring.
It's almost like a county fair type of thing at this horse track.
Yeah, it's like there's a whole affair going on here. Like, it's kind of like a county fair, right? Or just whatever it is. Like they bring out an actual like karate ring where he's going to show off and take anybody that wants to fight him.
Yeah, Raleigh goes and changes into a gi, and
right. There's even a bar. There's a open bar at this thing.
Yeah,
because Lone Wolf goes up to the bartender and asks for a pearl beer. It's like, no, all we have is like Modelo, Tecate, and like Mick Ultra. And then Lola's like, and Lola's like, oh, it's no, look at the bottom shelf. And sure enough, like,
it's because they knew that he would be there.
Exactly.
If
like they
Chuck
know
Norris,
this. They've done the intel.
If Chuck Norris goes to your bar and orders a pearl beer, even if you stock that bar yourself and you know for a fact that there are no pearl beers there will be a pearl beer at that bar.
There will be one. There will be one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then we cut to the ring, and Raleigh, he beats some guy there in the ring, right? And it cuts out, and there's different people dancing around,
and he calls out to the Lone Wolf. He's like, "Hey, come on up here, fight for the purse." And Lone Wolf tells him, "I don't fight for money."
Not gonna do it. Meanwhile, we're seeing other people look around while this is happening. Mm-hmm. We see KO is there.
KO is there, and he is run afoul with some of Raleigh's people. Yes. One of his guys, his right hand man,
is just
to be exact,
a teensy bit racist.
Mm-hmm.
Not happy to see
just
that.
A teensy bit.
He is unfortunately, upsetting the fabric
mm-hmm.
of this little party by being Mexican American.
Yeah. And
they try to pick a fight.
So this guy, who was this? Which henchman was this? Was this Burnside? Or did he have a name? Did this henchman have a name? Because he was like his main henchman. Oh, yeah. That's right. Kane Hodder was also in this movie, by the way. He played Goon.
Yep.
Kane Hodder, a.k.a. Jason.
Yes.
Jason Voorhees.
It's the early 80s. Oh, but no, it was not Tecate. It was Michelob, Dos Equis, and Heineken.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, anyway.
Oh, that's right. See, the guy calls him a greaser.
Yes, he calls him a greaser.
And then Raleigh tries to break it. Like, oh, they're just having some fun.
Mm-hmm. Because Lola sees it also. She knows what's about to happen. And she's trying to stop it.
Yeah.
But Raleigh's like, oh, they're just having some fun. And so they start beating up KO.
Mm-hmm.
And Lone Wolf sees this. And he's none too happy.
None too happy.
So he steps in. And he kicks some ass.
He kicks some ass.
He kicks some ass.
He doesn't kill anybody.
Nope. He just beats
them up. But he hurts the hell out of
somebody. Mm-hmm.
And finally, after he kicks enough ass, he and Lola leave.
Yep.
And they go to some little...
Yeah, because they hit it off, and Lone Wolf is like, hey, Sally could use a
They don't stay long there. But yeah, they don't stay long there, and they retreat back to his abode.
Mm-hmm.
And things happen.
Things happen.
As Wikipedia puts it, they leave for a romantic interlude.
A romantic interlude.
Maybe that's a new tea party.
Maybe. A romantic interlude. I like it. Because then that leads right into emotional catharsis.
We then cut back to Sally and Bobby. And they're parked off and almost looks like a little lover's lane area, and maybe proceeding their own little romantic interlude. And Sally's playing hard to get. She runs back off. Right now, they're just watching the stars, right? The idea is that they're going to go out and listen to the trains.
Yeah.
Which, okay. Like, the guy says he's going out with you to the middle of the desert to listen to the trains.
To watch trains?
He's got some things on his mind.
Yeah. And so then he tries to get a little frisky with her.
He's like, no.
Like, Yeah. But then they see
while that's happening, they hear some light. They hear there's some commotion. They see these bright lights,
and they look down. There's this semi truck,
and they're kind of on this ridge too, right? They're going. They can kind of see down to like this highway.
And and there's this semi truck and a bunch of cops.
Yep,
a bunch of state troopers surrounding it, and then these other guys just open fire on these state troopers. And just wipe them all out.
And what we'll discover later is like this is an army truck that's got army, different munitions.
Yeah, and at this point, so Sally. Sally is still in the car. Bobby has gotten out of the car to check this out.
It checks it out
because they heard the commotion, and he got out of the car to go check it out, leaving Sally in the safety of the car.
And as he's going back to the car, we see these headlights pull up.
These headlights turn on, and there's this truck sitting there, and these guys get out of it, and they have guns,
and they shoot Bobby.
And Bobby is like, "Hey,
that's right.
I don't want any trouble. I'm just gonna go." And as he turns to try to get into the car, they shoot him.
Yep. And then instead of shooting into the car at Sally, they get back in the truck and they ram
the side of the car and knock it over the ridge, so it goes tumbling down the hill.
Yep. And they leave it at that.
They leave Sally for dead.
Yep.
But thankfully, she's not dead.
She's not dead, right?
But now, they just made it personal.
Right. Because we get back to Lone Wolf's abode, and he gets a phone call. And then, like, it's early in the morning, right? And he he hears, he gets the news that like his daughter's in the hospital. And she's there, Mom's there, a doctor's there, and she's crying about Bobby being murdered in front of her eyes. And now this Lone Wolf, he's got to figure out who are these guys that try to murder his daughter. Because they're dead. They're not going to live to see the end of this movie.
Yeah. He's on a mission. Lone Wolf will not let anything stand in his way.
So, before, he goes back to his house briefly. And, Lola's still there, and she's cleaned up.
She's cleaning his kitchen. And, he's like, "Why are you cleaning?"
You're a woman, and your house is a mess.
A maid. If I wanted a maid, I'd hire a maid. Why are you cleaning? And she's like, "Well, I just thought it needed to be tidied up a little bit." So he goes to the fridge. He opens the fridge to get a beer, and there are no beers in there. It's like, "What happened to all my beer?" She's like, "It's in the trash. You shouldn't be drinking that stuff. It's bad for you." And he's like, "If I want a beer, I'm going to have a beer." So he goes digging through the trash, and he finds the beer cans.
He finds his beer.
And he pulls one out. He pops the top on it. And he goes to take a sip, and she's arguing with him about the drinking. And so he just gets mad, and he just throws the beer back in the trash.
I can't enjoy this beer.
He's like, "I can't enjoy it." And she storms off, and he just throws the almost full beer can back in the trash and chases her outside to try to make up.
So after kind of all this happens, and they're on this shaky ground with their relationship, right? He decides, you know what? Maybe I need to speak with KO. Right? He goes back to the Ranger's office. He is trying to figure out what's going on with this truck. He realizes this is probably an army truck, and he needs to figure out.
This is when he draws the boobs.
Oh, this is when he draws
because he's on the phone. Because he's on the phone
Yes.
with the army base.
Yep, and he's trying to figure out
what
was on this
He's
truck.
sitting there and he draws boobs on the newspaper.
He's trying to figure out what's on this truck. Right? He goes into the office and actually tries to do some detective work.
Yeah. So he calls the base, and the person that answers the phone can't answer his questions. They can't tell him.
And he's like, what good are you if he can't give me these answers?
He's like, well, who can give me the answers? They're like, well, the colonel can. He's like, well, can I speak to the colonel?
But he's away for the weekend.
And so, he hangs up. He's got freshly drawn boobs on his newspaper.
Do they look like Lola's?
Maybe.
Anyway, that's when KO comes up. KO says, I can be helpful. I'm young. I know about computers.
Yep.
So he says, come with me. And they go to this little computer lab. And they go to this database, right?
And he's able to pull up everything. Because Lone Wolf is upset that he's going to have to wait until Monday to find out, to be able to talk to the colonel.
And KO's like, no.
You don't have to wait.
It's on a computer somewhere.
Yeah. We'll just go hack into their system. And I'm going to show you how to see what was on that truck. And they find out that
Matthew Lillard showed me. I went into the future, watched the movie Hackers.
Yeah. And so they go, and he gets on the computer, and before you know it, he's got an inventory of what was on that truck.
And it's a bunch of guns.
Mm-hmm. Bunch of guns.
Right? And so then, Lone Wolf, he's impressed by KO.
He's like, hey, okay, maybe I can turn my one-man wolf pack into a two-man wolf pack.
That's right. And Lone Wolf, thankfully, he knows a man that might know, who might be wanting the shipment. Mm-hmm. So they go to this industrial warehouse area of town. They kind of, they're waiting for someone to show up. Mm-hmm. And this person that waiting to show up is William Sanderson.
Snow.
It's
William Sanderson with huge pop bottle glasses. He's got thick glasses.
Yeah. And, he kind of has a, hippie-ish look to him. Like, this is 1983, but he's still living in the 70s. That's his style. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? And it kind of looks like it's this warehouse, right? They confront him outside of it, right?
Yeah, they confront him outside of it. And he gets in his car and drives away.
Yep.
So now we have a car chase.
And then, he ends up at this other building. And he runs into it. And this building is... maybe Breaking Bad is using this as their, inspiration. But it's kind of like a dry cleaning area, seamstress type of building.
Yes, that's right. That's right. He's not in the car yet. He's not in the car yet. Because they're running first. He's just chasing them on foot first. Yeah, they're going through this building.
And, the people that are working there, they're pointing where he's running. And he gets in this office where he is trying to hide out with these other guys. And they get in there. And they corner him. But then he escapes again. And that's when the car chase happens.
Yes.
But he can't get too far because they eventually will catch up with him.
So he thinks he's getting away. But then he runs into a fuel truck.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because you have, they have both cars. They have KO's car. You have
KO's car, and you have Lone Wolf's car.
Yeah,
they're both chasing this guy.
Yes.
And Snow,
and then that's right.
He runs into the trailer. There's a fuel truck that's just stopped. And he runs right into the trailer.
Because, of course, it stopped. And, of course, he runs into it.
Mm-hmm. And while he's sitting there in the driver's seat, dazed, Lone Wolf notices that there's some fuel leaking from the truck.
And he'd be more than happy just let him to explode with the fuel truck. But he needs the information.
Needs answers. So he goes up, and he gets him out of the driver's seat of that car just in time.
Just in time.
He's carrying him out. And the trailer blows up. The car blows up.
He pulls him out.
Big explosion.
This is like City Slickers. Like,
yes.
The crane is falling on this woman.
Yes. Yes. And I lift that crane up. Only this time it's just Chuck Norris lifting up a small person, like
yes.
a not very large man.
No. And they run out together as it explodes.
Because, I mean, William Sanderson he's kind of scrawny. You know, he's not a big guy.
He's a scrawny guy. Yes. So, William Sanderson, though, he wakes up. He doesn't know when he's going to wake up, but he wakes up. He sees Colonel Sanders there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Colonel Sanders' cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
He's outside.
They decide they need to take him someplace where they think it's safe.
Yeah.
To question him.
Yes.
He's kind of tied to a tree.
He's tied to a tree, and Lone Wolf knows that, as a Texas Ranger, he can't really interrogate this guy in the way that is going to get him the answers that he needs.
No. But a retired Texas Ranger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, Dakota, the retired Texas Ranger, who no longer has to follow the rules, he tells him to leave him with him for a little bit.
I'll get your answers.
So, Lone Wolf, all righty. And he tells KO to wait with him, to stay with him and make sure that, Snow doesn't, try to run off.
That's right.
And so Lone Wolf leaves. And as soon as he leaves, before he leaves, Dakota gets a hold of that MAC-10.
Yes. It's like, ooh, a MAC-10.
And so he uses it. And he starts shooting around Snow, shooting the ground around him to try to get him to talk.
Like, hey, I'll keep shooting. Eventually, I'm missing now, but I might accidentally miss and actually hit you.
Yep. So Lone Wolf goes off to, is this when he goes back to the track? And
yes.
He goes to confront Falcone?
Well, yeah, at some point he also meets an FBI agent.
Yes, so that
FBI agent
right around
by
here.
Lee Isaac Kennedy.
So,
and I forget what he says. Like, it's like, oh yeah, no, we're tracking different arms dealers or guys trying to smuggle arms. Like, I can't remember the exact details of it.
Yeah, but he's like, basically, we're taking over the investigation.
Right, and there's more with this guy that will happen later. That's larger to the plot.
And so,
I don't know to take it over the investigation yet, but he's saying like we have our own investigation going on with certain people smuggling arms. It's like it doesn't like to be careful with the case. That very kind of cliched standard type of speech. But yeah, and that's when he goes back to the track.
Yeah, so real quick on so Leon Isaac Kennedy, Jackson, FBI agent Jackson. So throughout this movie, I noticed he kind of tries to look and act like Carl Weathers.
Oh yes, he does.
But rather than that, he ends up being more like that is one bad outfit guy from Superman.
Yeah. Yes.
So, yeah, I noticed that, and it was kind of funny. But he's really trying to be like Carl Weathers.
Yes. Yeah. So Lone Wolf is back at the track, and he knows there's someone up there he needs to see.
So he walks up.
And this guy tries to stop him, but...
Yep, the doorman tries to stop him. He's like, this is invitation only. And Lone Wolf points to his badge. He's like, see this? This is my invitation. And he just, pushes through the guy.
The guy's like,
goes in the door.
It's like, all right. Had been, some other Texas Rangers that were less badass. Like, no, that's not an invitation. No, but he, Lone Wolf is Lone Wolf.
Yeah.
And he realizes, you know what, that's your invitation. Go right in.
So he just walks right in. And Falcone is in there.
Yep. And he's happy to see him, actually. He's like, I want to help you. I like you.
Yeah.
He tries to be charming and play it all up like he wants to be helpful.
Like a Bond
villain.
Right?
They have a lovely conversation. Where it's like, yeah, we can, I'll help you. It's like, oh yeah, no, that guy, like Raleigh, yeah, no, like, yeah, he's trying to run guns and all this, but you're like, oh, but I've got nothing to do with that. That's his own thing. That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, I just run a racetrack.
Yeah, I just run a racetrack. I know him. I'm friendly with him. Like I might be involved in some illegal things, but not that. I don't do that. Right? So, but then they're having this conversation. Like, oh, but you know what? Then but then he makes a quick escape. Right? He's got a secret escape route.
He has a trap door. Like one of the spinny, like he has like a revolving secret door.
Revolving spinny trap door. Yes.
A revolving secret door. Like the fireplace in Last
Harrison
Crusade.
Ford and Sean
And the other side is Harrison Ford and Sean Connery tied to chairs. And a German woman that sees them smiles and yells, "Alarm!"
They turn around again, and now Falcone's not there. But then he comes over the intercom. It's like, oh, but no, hey, Lone Wolf, I hear your friend Snow is not going to be around for this world much longer. And all of a sudden, he puts it together. He's like, oh
no. Yeah, so he rushes.
They know where he is. So he rushes back.
He rushes back to Dakota's place. And at this point, Dakota and KO are playing poker.
With Snow.
They got Snow. With Snow.
They're playing with Snow.
There.
They're playing with Snow. He is tied to a chair.
And KO gets up to get another beer. And while he's away from the table, Dakota cheats. He looks at KO's cards. And then he tells Snow that, if he tells KO that he looked at his cards, he's a dead man.
But then a car pulls up. And you hear these footsteps and Dakota kind of senses it. These guys bust in and they shoot Snow dead.
And then Dakota tries to fight back and they shoot Dakota.
Yep. And as he's there, he's shot, he's wounded. Raleigh walks in. And then he just looks over him and he just kind of steps on him and crushes his neck. and they shoot at KO, and they leave. And then a Lone Wolf shows up.
Lone Wolf shows up. The bad guys are gone. He walks into the kitchen. He sees Dakota dead on the floor. He sees Snow dead on the floor. And KO is sitting down
on the couch, weeping.
And he's crying.
And then we cut back to the office in El Paso. And the captain's not happy.
Nope.
And he's in there with the FBI agent Jackson. It's like you got your illegal operation here, got good ranger killed.
So is the reason he was trying to be Carl Weathers because his name's Jackson? Yes. He was trying to be Action Jackson?
Action Miss Jackson. I think so, yes.
Yeah.
And he doesn't no, and you've disrupted this investigation of the FBI and the ATF. Right? And, Captain doesn't know that Jackson and the Lone Wolf have actually met each other, but they have.
Mm-hmm.
They nod at each other. And then he introduces him to the Agent Burnside, played by John Anderson, the ATF. And this guy's a little dweeby guy.
Yeah, Burnside, right? The henchman. Yeah.
This
guy's, yeah.
He's got a little mustache. It's like, and he is pointing his finger at Wolf. He is really upset that he has disrupted his investigation. And the captain was like, I gotta put you on, leave without pay.
Without pay. Until this whole thing blows over.
He's like, do you want my badge? Like, no, don't need that yet. Right? But you're off this, and you're on a unpaid vacation.
And so Lone Wolf's like, good, I got time now.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Time. Mm-hmm. Track this guy down. Take him out.
But he goes home, right? And Lola's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He bears his soul to all these things. One of his best friends is murdered, and he's off this and whatever, right?
Yep.
But what do? They have another romantic interlude.
Yes, they have a romantic interlude. And then when they're done with their romantic interlude, Lone Wolf gets up out of bed, and he walks across the room, and he has a beer fridge in his bedroom.
Which is strange because the bedroom is kind of attached to the kitchen.
Yep. He's got a fridge in the kitchen, and he's got a beer fridge in the bedroom. So he goes over, he gets a Pearl beer out of it. He pops the top, and he drinks that beer.
He drinks it. And he finishes it, and he hears something outside. He's like, this isn't right. Something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
His Lone Wolf ears, they perk up.
Yes. And this is when we get that MAC-10 with the big suppressor.
Yep.
Because some of Raleigh's guys are there. And Lone Wolf is outside. And
because he walks outside when he hears this. And he's,
And so, they use that MAC-10. Or they use their MAC-10. I guess it could be the same MAC-10. They could have gotten
the same MAC-10.
They could have gotten it from Dakota.
They could have.
But they shoot
fire into the house.
They shoot the wolf.
They shoot the wolf first. That's right. I guess Lone Wolf doesn't go outside. No, they shoot the wolf.
Yeah,
he goes outside after they shoot into the house.
And they shoot into the house, and then he goes outside, sees his wolf laying there, and now they just turned him into John Wick.
Yeah.
It's bad enough that they're facing Lone Wolf.
Okay.
But now they're facing a John Wick Lone Wolf.
First, they try to murder his daughter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now they've murdered his wolf.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And his best friend.
And his best friend. This is not going to end well for any of these people.
No. They just keep it. They keep making it more and more personal.
They should have watched the John Wick movies, and they would have realized. Anyway, so
see now they're facing a combination of Chuck Norris and John Wick.
It's a bad combination.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's an awesome combination.
Combo, yes.
It's a bad combination if you're a bad guy.
That are facing him.
If you're a bad guy, that's a bad combination.
Yes. Yes.
So, it's the next morning. He's cleaning up outside his house because he's been shot up. He had to bury his wolf. Right? He's emptied out his bedroom beer fridge of Pearl beer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's got a few left. He's drinking one. Agent Jackson shows up. He's like, I want to help you. You're badass. I've seen you. You're badass. I want to help you. Right? And then he's got one beer left. He tosses it over to Jackson. They drink it. It's like, no, the rumor is that, he's got a strip somewhere where, a hangar where they, they pass off these guns here somewhere, right?
It's off somewhere in the desert.
I'm a pilot. We can go flying around trying to find it.
So they get into
that's what they do. Because it's got little balls.
And they're flying over the desert. And they've been at this for, hours.
Hours, yeah.
It's
starting. They gotta go back soon because they're probably
sunset.
Yeah.
The sun's starting to go down. So Jackson's like, well, we gotta head back. We can come back out in the morning. And Lone Wolf is like, all right, just make one more pass over here. So they do, and when they do, they see this hangar.
Mm-hmm.
And so they fly a little bit lower. And we see all these people running around in the hangar. They look up and they see this plane coming in out of nowhere.
There's gonna be this plane up there.
Like, why? Why is this plane up there? It looks like a male plane.
It's a male plane. Only female planes show up here.
Like, how do you know it's a male plane? He's like, don't you see the little balls?
You gotta do Three Amigos.
So they fly over, and like all these people that are like at this little airbase, this hangar, they're all like trying to hide inside, get out from the open, so it doesn't look like anybody's there.
Yes.
And so Lone Wolf and Jackson are like, all right, well, here it is. Let's check this place out.
Yep.
Let's go land, and we'll come back and check it out. So they go and they get a crew together.
Yeah. So they check it out. Yeah, and they have to get they talk to the ATF. They get a little crew. They come back later. Right.
And they're in two vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
You got Lone Wolf's truck.
You got his truck.
And the ATF guys.
The ATF guys, they have their vehicle, right? They
have a truck that is not as good and not as badass as Lone Wolf's truck.
No. It is definitely not as badass. Because we'll get to that very soon.
They're driving through, they're off road at this point.
Yeah, they're off road. As they they've had their headlights up, but as they get close to it, like they kind of come over the hill and the ridge, and they turn off their headlights, and they all get out.
ATF's truck. But first, the ATF's truck gets stuck.
That's
stuck
right.
In the mud.
Yes.
And so Lone Wolf comes up behind him and he pushes him through the truck.
Gives a little nudge.
Through the mud. Yeah, then they come up and they turn off their headlights, and they're all
And they're all kind of waiting. They wait there for a little while. Sun goes down, and
And also, before they left, KO came to Lone Wolf, and he insisted that he go with them.
yes.
Lone Wolf didn't want him to because he's hurt. He's still dealing with what happened at Dakota's.
He cares about KO. He doesn't want to see.
Yeah, because at this point, he's actually grown kind of fond.
He's growing fond of KO. Yes, he's growing fond of KO.
And so, but KO insists on coming.
So you got, kind of KO, Jackson, and Lone Wolf. They kind of stick together, and the ATF guys kind of stick together. And, they see these guys milling about now, and there's a lot of activity happening.
I think we missed something before they went out, because didn't Lone Wolf... Yeah, he got hurt.
He did. How did he get hurt?
Because, trying to remember, did he have another run-in with Raleigh? But anyway, he's all bandaged up, and he was doing some more target shooting, a little more target practice, and he was missing because his wrist is all messed up.
Yes,
and
yes.
He couldn't shoot straight. And then that's when...
Or was that scene later?
No, because it was before they went to the hangar.
That's right. You're right. Okay.
Because that's when KO insists on coming with him.
Right. And so it's KO, Jackson, and Lone Wolf. They stick together, and the ATF guys are their own kind of... Mm-hmm. They're sticking together, right? You get kind of the two groups within the one group. And he's banged up a bit, like you said. And they're going to be patient about what they're watching before they go storm in, right? The ATF decides, you know what? We're going to go guns blazing.
Oh, also what we had missed before this was Sally got out of the hospital.
That's right. Yes.
And he took her to stay with her mom.
Thank you. That happens too.
Because he knew he was going to be going on this mission and might not come out of it. There's a chance that he wouldn't come back.
So that's when Agent Burnside, though, right? Mm-hmm. And the other ATF guys, they're not going to be patient. Nope. They're just going to go out. They're like, this is ATF, blah, 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 right? And they just announce themselves very casually, very recklessly. Mm-hmm. And a firefight ensues.
It ensues.
And Jackson and KO and Lone Wolf are like, this is stupid, but we got to get involved in this, right? Mm-hmm. But all the ATF guys, they quickly get killed.
Yeah. ATF guys quickly get killed. And Lone Wolf, Jackson, and KO all get shot.
Yeah, and Jackson, he gets shot. He gets shot a little bit more seriously than the other two, and they kind of keep going through. And then, KO is able to kind of hide himself a little bit, but Lone Wolf, because he's a lone wolf, he's gonna keep pushing on. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, a plane comes in, or a helicopter comes in, and it's Raleigh.
Yep, it's Raleigh.
And they're able to detain Lone Wolf, and some of them are able to discover his truck way back on the ridge, and they drive it up, and Raleigh is able to punches Lone Wolf, and then tosses him into his truck.
Puts him in the driver's seat of his truck,
and then Lone Wolf looks up like he's dazed, right? He looks up and he's kind of, he's dazed, and he sees Raleigh there. Mm-hmm. And he looks disgusted. He looks defeated.
And then Raleigh shuts the door and he has a bulldozer.
Well, before he shuts the door, he rips off his Ranger's badge.
That's right. He rips off his Ranger badge. He's like, this will make a nice souvenir.
Right? He's got little cigars. He's doing this.
He
and
shuts
then
the door.
he shuts the door. He tells them to take care of it. And he rides off in his helicopter.
Yep. And then they pull
they have a
bulldozer up and they push
They have a perfect
car
pit for him.
They push his truck into a pit. And then they cover it in dirt.
And, and back there, KO sees this, and he's distraught.
KO's like, "Oh no, Lone Wolf is dead."
And you're thinking, watching this, like Chuck Norris, like Lone Wolf's dead. Chuck Norris is dead. And we cut to a scene within the truck.
Yes, inside the truck. There's dirt outside the windows because he's buried in the truck.
Yes. And he has some beers there because Lone Wolf keeps Pearl beer everywhere.
Pearl beer in his truck, and so he pulls the can out. He opens it, takes a sip of it, then dumps it all over himself.
Like he's
trying to convince.
He's having a last drink, and he's just enjoying this.
And he just dumps it all over himself. Like
he looks resigned,
as if he just got pulled over, and he wants to make sure that this cop knows that he's drunk, and that's why he's buried in the dirt.
And
that's why his car is buried in the dirt.
And KO is looking at this, and you're looking at this, and you're thinking,
how's he get out of this?
It was at this point when all hope had faded that Isildur picked up his father's sword
and cut the ring from Sauron's finger.
Not quite. It seemed like all hope has faded.
Yes.
But we forgot. This is Chuck Norris.
And he's in his truck. So, having freshly showered in beer, he kicks it into reverse, kicks it into drive, and just rocks back and forth until he drives out of this pit. Through the dirt that's all around him, just drives out of this pit.
Literally drives out of a pit.
He just drives out of this pit.
KO, he's hearing the truck. He's like, "What's that noise?" Like he's starting to get excited, and then you kind of see like the sand kind of come off, like the dirt kind of off the headlights, and the lights turn on, and then it just burst out of the sand. And KO's like, "Yes!" Yeah!
So,
and then KO proceeds to kill people that are there because, like, all of a sudden, like, hope has been reignited, and they kill everybody else that's left.
Wait, So this is when, So he didn't get hurt before this. This is how he got hurt. This whole thing, because what I was thinking of happens after this.
That's right. Yes, because like one last minute firefight ensues as they kill the remaining people at this hangar.
Yep. And then the next day.
Well, before we get the next day, Jackson shows back up. He's been off, right?
Yeah.
And they look at and he's like, "You son of a bitch." After they have killed everybody, they all sit next to Lone Wolf's truck.
Yes.
And enjoy a beer together.
They all have a beer. They're all just sitting there, leaning up against the truck.
There's a perfect joke here where you have Chuck Norris, a Mexican, and a black guy.
And they don't each have a beer. They're sharing the same beer.
They're sharing one beer. Yes.
They're sharing the same beer that Chuck Norris just dumped all over himself.
It gave him the fuel to drive his truck out of a pit.
Yes.
And that's when you cut to the next day.
The next day, this is when he's on his out target shooting.
Yes,
and he can't seem to hit the target because he's hurt.
He's bandaged up and he's been bruised. He's hurt, KO shows up. He's like, I need to help you still. But someone else shows up too. Falcone. It's like, I'm going to help you. I'm going to tell you that Raleigh goes over the border.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you those coordinates. I'm going to help you because that's the type of man I am.
I'm going to help you because I'm a Bond villain.
I'm a Bond villain. Yeah. Right? And what we don't know is that they've actually kidnapped his daughter.
Yes. They've kidnapped his daughter, Sally.
Yes. So he has extra motivation to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of this.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know that until Falcone tells him, right? So, again, perfect little Mexican village, movie set.
Yep. Very,
go down.
very similar to Santa Poco.
Yes. And they drive over the border in his truck. They get there, right? They arrive.
And there are guards all over the place.
Yes.
They're sneaking through. They see where they take Sally.
They do.
See what room they put her in. So they sneak around, and as Lone Wolf comes up onto various guards, he kills them in different ways.
In the way Lone Wolf will kill someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes and he finds the room that Sally's in. And they're in there. And, she's happy to see him, obviously.
He's happy to see her.
He's happy to see her. And, he tells her everything's going to be okay. And then, doesn't Lola come in?
Yes.
Lola comes in and swears to him that, she didn't mean to, it wasn't her idea to betray him. It was Raleigh. Raleigh made her do it.
Raleigh made her do all of this.
And he's very quick to forgive her.
He's a forgiving man.
He's very quick to forgive her.
That must have been some good sex.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. That romantic interlude must have
they're leaving.
Culminated in emotional catharsis.
So they get out there. Now Raleigh has arrived. He was not there at first, but he arrives in this helicopter.
He arrives and he shoots at them.
Yep.
And Sally gets shot in the leg.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong move, David Carradine.
Nobody has learned in this movie. You don't mess with Lone Wolf McQuade's loved ones. Whether they're two-legged or four-legged.
I mean, we talked about this, John Wick, and we'll talk about it more. But you would think by the fourth movie they would just leave John Wick the fuck alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You would think so.
And here, at this point, they would think, you know what? He drove his truck out of a ditch.
Out of a pit. Where it was buried.
Maybe we'll leave this guy alone. You know what? He did enough. We'll leave him alone. He could have been wise to all of this. And said, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna fly down to some remote place in Mexico or Colombia or some island.
Yep.
And not involve myself with Lone Wolf. No, I'm gonna kidnap his daughter and shoot her in the leg.
Great idea. Great idea, Raleigh. So, yeah. And Sally, even though she gets shot in the leg, she does not act like she's been shot in the leg.
No, she does not. She does not. act like that at all. She acts like, maybe she kind of slightly jammed her pinky toe into a door. But not even that hard.
Yeah,
because sometimes you can...
standing on this leg.
Yeah.
She's got a big bullet hole in her thigh, but she's standing on the leg just fine. She's walking around, running. But Raleigh decides that, well, he's got his gun drawn on Lone Wolf, and Lone Wolf's got his gun drawn on Raleigh.
Yes.
And they decide that this can't be decided with bullets. This match can't be decided with bullets.
They're both good with their hands and their fists. Why not? Let's have a fight.
The only way to truly determine who the winner of this battle is for them to face each other with their bare hands.
And so they do.
And it starts out, Raleigh gets a few good hits in.
Yeah, I mean, Raleigh is kind of has the upper hand at first.
Well, Lone Wolf's getting some hits in too.
Yeah. It's not total domination, but, Raleigh definitely is leading it first.
And at one point, Lone Wolf gets knocked off his feet, and Sally comes running to him as if she hasn't been shot in the leg.
Nope, not at all.
But, you get back up. Raleigh gets a few more
I
hits
get
in.
knocked down, but I get up again. Ain't nobody gonna keep me down.
But Lone Wolf, he turns it around.
Oh, he does. He does.
He gives Raleigh one of his patented roundhouse kicks.
He knocks him into the next century.
And yeah, so Lone Wolf wins that fight. He turns it around on him. He just beats the crap out of Raleigh. So Raleigh decides to cheat.
Because he's a little
bitch. Since he's been beaten at his own game, because he thought he was the best fighter in the world. But sorry, David Carradine doesn't hold a candle to Chuck Norris.
No. I mean, David Carradine's awesome.
Yes.
But he's not Chuck Norris. It's like, Alan Rickman is awesome. But he's not Bruce Willis.
No. Yeah.
He might last longer than most people. But eventually, that bill's going to come due. But before that happens, he shoots at them, but Lola gets in the way, gets shot.
Yep.
And she's dying,
and Lone Wolf is like,
Lone Wolf's
"Oh
arms.
no, Sally's not going to have a new mommy."
She's dying. I love this. It's like really dramatic. This movie, like 10 minutes ago, Chuck Norris drove a truck
out of a pit.
Ditch.
Out of a pit.
Out of a pit.
That it was been covered. Buried in.
He's been buried alive in his own truck.
He just drove it out of the pit.
And we just had this massive firefight. And now we're just having this dramatic scene of Lola dying in Lone Wolf's arms. She's like, Riley killed my husband and forced me to be his partner. I'm so sorry. He's like, I'm sorry too. I wanted you to be Sally's second mother.
I wanted you to be Sally's new mommy.
And Sally's crying about some woman that she just met.
That she was sure was going to be her new mommy.
The last 24 hours. Right? And Lola dies.
And then the Lone Wolf is even more pissed.
Yes. And we forgot about like Jackson is down there with them, with KO.
Mm-hmm.
All three of them are down there, right? And
so
Raleigh
here's what I don't understand. So Jackson, he had a single shot rocket launcher, right? He had a law.
He did.
He had a law, just like Michael Douglas had in Falling Down. Same kind of thing.
Yes.
One shot.
Yes.
He shoots it at least 3 times.
Yes, he does. He does. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like there's this entire firefight that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Where he shoots rocket launchers get shot, things blow up, people blow up,
Mm-hmm.
fire explosions are going like prior to the little fight and Lola dying. Like there's a good little 3-minute firefight of explosions.
Yeah.
Happening here.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesomeness. Just explosions.
So, but as she's dying, Raleigh takes the time to he escapes into one of these buildings. Right? Now now that rocket launcher is definitely no good. Like they put enough time away from it, like you realize like, okay, he's not using that again. But he's got a grenade that he can give to Lone Wolf.
Well, we also missed the whole when Raleigh was shooting at Lone Wolf got into the bulldozer. And
oh, that's right. Yes, he's driving a bulldozer around this little town.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. Yes.
So Raleigh's just shooting into the scoop on the front of the bulldozer.
Yes. Like, come on. Like, what are you gonna do with that?
But yeah, so Raleigh, he tries to escape and he runs into this little building, this little shack of a building.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackson tosses that grenade to Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf pulls the pin and he throws the grenade and it goes into that little tiny shack, that little like storage closet building, and the whole place blows up.
It just explodes.
With Raleigh in it.
Raleigh's in it. We don't see Raleigh's expression as this grenade falls in there.
No.
Right before he explodes.
No. But
explodes.
But Raleigh comes raining down on everybody else.
It's kind of like in Tremors at the end.
Yep.
You just got David Carradine raining down on everybody. And and at some point, what happened? They kill his truck, right? What happens to his truck? Something happens to his truck.
Yeah, something.
Because they seem like they can't escape. But then Falcone lands in a helicopter.
Yes.
And he's got a bodyguard with him. Right? It's just the bodyguard, Falcone, and the pilot. And Falcone thinks he can make a deal with Lone Wolf.
But no. Lone Wolf does not.
But
make
Lone Wolf
deals.
knows that this guy's not just completely innocent, that he's known the entire time what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that he could do something about all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Lone Wolf, Ramos, Jackson, and Sally, they get into that helicopter. And they tell the pilot to leave. Because when Lone Wolf gets into your helicopter, it tells you to leave.
You follow his instructions.
You leave.
You listen to him.
And it lifts off.
And this helicopter pilot is not stupid.
If he's looking at Lone Wolf and Falcone, who's he going to listen to more?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Lone Wolf. So I love how it lifts off, and Falcone's like, "What are you doing? You leaving me here? The federales are going to get me." He's just screaming. I love. It's hilarious because like his bodyguard's like close to. He's a tall dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably 6'8", 6'9".
And Falcone is very short, and in a tiny wheelchair.
So the two of them just sitting just next to each other. It's a hilarious look.
Mm-hmm.
And the bodyguard's like, "Oh shit! Like I should have stayed on that fucking helicopter." And Falcone's just screaming at him. He's like, "McQuade! Damn you, McQuade! I'll get you next time.
I'll get you, Gadget."
What makes you wonder, like, did he get arrested by the federales? Or does this become the basis for Inspector Gadget?
Maybe. Maybe. I guess we'll just have to wait for Lone Wolf McQuade too.
But yeah, we're not done. Right? We go to a ceremony where they are congratulating Lone Wolf.
They're giving him a commendation
For busting up this ring of arms smugglers.
Mm-hmm.
And KO's there and Jackson's there. They're plotting him. They're very grateful for him. The captain seems like he is being very grateful also, right? It's just like the captain in Falling Down, right?
Real quick.
Yes.
Before we go on to the captain and how he's doing it. So when they were in the shootout and stuff back at the little village.
Mm-hmm. Right?
KO has a run-in with that same henchman from earlier.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes. Because like all those guys you saw earlier, like at that thing, were like all work like
back at the track.
He's got an extensive network of people that work for him.
Yeah, and so the same guy that beat up KO before, he walks up to him and he says, "Remember me, greaser?" And KO's response is, "Yeah, I never forget an asshole."
I'm glad he brought that up. So,
and then the henchman gets beat.
Yeah, well, obviously.
But yeah, back to the ceremony.
So that ceremony ends, and Sally's there. His ex-wife is there. They're happy to see him. They're going to go out. Like the plan is that he's going to go out to New Mexico to see their new house. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But KO KO was not there. KO was elsewhere. KO shows up in a car.
Yes.
Cop car.
KO shows up in a cop car. And
like, "Oh, this is bank robbery.
You coming?" And he's like, "No, I got to go spend time with my family." And KO's like, "Come on."
Come on. And then I was like, "Just go." The ex-wife was like, "Just go."
Because, they all knew that he wanted to go. Because he kept looking back and forth.
You're alone. You're maybe not a lone wolf anymore, but you're still a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And you just want to eat bank robbers.
Yep. So, Lone Wolf decides to race KO.
Yes.
And Lone Wolf gets into his truck and drives off.
To go kill some bank robbers.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see them get killed.
Because they're not going to be arrested.
No, they won't.
In this entire movie, Lone Wolf McQuade never makes one arrest.
No. No, the only person he might have lived was Hefe way back at the beginning of the movie. But we never found out what happened to Hefe.
Nope. Maybe he's still standing there in the desert.
It's like you're gonna walk this way for about 30 miles. And that is it. That's how it ends. He just drives off to go kill a bunch of bank robbers. And you just want to see more exploits of Lone Wolf McQuade.
Yep.
Which we never got. Unless you count Walker, Texas Ranger.
Which I do.
These movies, yes, they are right
Walker,
there together.
Texas Ranger is a sequel to Lone Wolf McQuade.
It is, yes. Yes. He transfers from El Paso to Dallas. And he continues to kick more bad guy ass. Because that's what Chuck Norris does.
Teo didn't want to come with him to Dallas, so he got a new partner with Clarence Gilliard Jr.
Hey, Noble Willingham is there for him. So
Yep.
But Lone Wolf McQuade, what a fun movie.
I love this movie.
This movie was so much fun.
It was so great.
You're going along, you're enjoying it, and then he drives out of a ditch. Cherry on top.
He drives out of a pit he's been buried in. Like it's nothing.
Okay, so there's a lot of just regular Chuck Norris stuff that happens in this movie, and you're enjoying it. And he gets buried alive in this truck, and you're thinking like, how is he getting out of this one?
He just drives out.
I'm thinking like, how does he get out of this one? Like he obviously he survives.
Yeah.
Like how does he get out of this? He just drives out.
He just drives out after showering himself with beer.
He opens up a can of beer, takes a sip, just dumps it all over him. It's like, okay, I'm driving out of this. like it's nothing.
It's like Popeye with spinach.
that moment, like that's
It's just, this movie is just so great. It's
there are many moments that just make you think, oh, that's Chuck Norris. Roundhouse kick. Yes. There's moments we'll get to. And then there's this one. And just he drives out of a pit in his truck. like it's like did this inspire Quentin Tarantino when he buried the bride?
Maybe.
Kill Bill Volume 2.
Maybe.
She doesn't drive a truck out of the ditch. She's buried alive and she punches through it and climbs out of it. But like,
maybe
it's got David Carradine is a connecting factor in those scenes.
Yes, he is.
I mean, come on. But so much fun. I hope you enjoyed watching it if you've watched this movie for the first time.
Yes, me too.
So.
I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't watched it, watch it.
Please watch. It's not long. It's not much longer than an hour and a half. Turn your brain off. Just watch Chuck Norris be Chuck Norris in this movie.
Yes.
Like, yeah. It's like, you'll have fun. Please just watch it. That's all I had to say about it.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's just, I don't know why we didn't watch this movie together in the apartment.
The next one we're going to cover, we watched.
Yes.
So why didn't we watch this one?
I don't know. But this one is at least every bit as awesome as the next one that we're going to be talking about.
I wish I could have just been like, this would have been perfect in the apartment at 1 o'clock in the morning after consuming a bunch of beer. And
This movie's just fantastic. Anyway, anything else that
that's it.
That you want to say about it?
Else. How can I just he drives out of a sand. He's buried alive in his truck, and he drives out.
Yeah.
What else can they add to that? That's it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris did it all himself.
Yep. And it only worked because Chuck Norris was the driver.
That's right. Vin Diesel couldn't do that. I love Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel could not do that.
Nope.
Paul Walker could not do that.
Nope. Just Chuck Norris.
Nicolas Cage could not do that.
Only Chuck Norris could do it.
Even Steve McQueen, as badass as Steve McQueen was, Steve McQueen was not quite badass enough to do that.
Even though Steve McQueen did study under Chuck Norris.
Yes, he did.
Chuck Norris did teach Steve McQueen.
So maybe Steve McQueen might have. I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good point. However, anyway, that's it. No more.
Yep. So, if you enjoy what you listen to, follow us on our social media. We are on Instagram and Facebook and Threads. It is Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. The and is spelled out A&D. It's not an ampersand like the name of the podcast. We're also on X or Twitter. That is R&T Cinematic. And you can also check out our Letterboxd, so you can see some of our reviews on various movies, some we've done on the podcast and we haven't done, some we will do, some we won't do. And that is Cine Adventure, or Cine Adventure, CINE Adventure. And you can also just send us an email. Let us know what you thought of Lone Wolf McQuade. Is it the greatest movie you have ever seen in your life? Because it would be kind of hard to disagree with you on that. It is a fantastic movie, and if you agree with us, then let us know. If you disagree with us, then let us know. We want to hear from you. But that is Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure at gmail.com. Once again, the and is spelled out A&D. It's not an ampersand like the name of the podcast. Yeah, we want to hear from you. And
we do.
Go to our social media, give us a like and a follow. Go to your favorite podcast app, or if you're listening to us, hit that subscribe button. Give us a good rating, a good review. Comment on our stuff. That's all how we move up in the rankings and the recommendations and the search, all that stuff. Because we want to be able to reach as many people as possible. We want to grace your ears with our discussions on these movies. But, so, because Chuck Norris was such a legend.
Legend he was.
Just one tribute episode cannot contain the legend that is Chuck Norris.
So we'll give you a second.
We're going to give you another one next week. Next week, we are going to be talking about the Chuck Norris classic, Missing in Action.
M. Emmett Walsh.
Yeah. Yes. This movie, and we will get to it next week. We will get to it, but this movie has one of my favorite shots in any movie.
Yeah.
And we will talk all about that next week.
Oh, we will talk about that next week. Indeed.
So, join us next time for Missing in Action.